Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Magical Witchy World TV. I am Star Ravenhawk. I'm so glad to be back tonight with you guys.
Yes, and I am Rhonda Allen, not sick.
I'm the
Yes,
one that's sick this
welcome
time
back.
with my
Yeah.
allergies, so
Yes,
bear
but
with
you're
me
gonna.
tonight. See?
On that note, but we
Yes.
want to introduce you to our special guest.
It's a magical, witchy world. It's a magical, witchy world.
Goodness, good evening. Good evening. Thank you.
Great to see
Yay.
you again, Kenneth.
Thank you so much. I love the spooky vibes.
Oh,
thank, thank you so
oh,
much
and
for this great honor. Thank you so much for this honor.
it is such a pleasure to have you. And I know Star is struggling with the allergies, but we do want to acknowledge our music is written by Star.
Fred Scarf, a friend of Dark Moon Spirit, a band that has been with Witches Fest a few years in a row, and he wrote every detail of that song and performed it for us. And
Yes.
when he heard of the show, he created that song just for the show.
Yes.
Wow, I
And
love it.
we
Yeah,
thank him
I love
so
it.
much.
yeah, we do thank him a lot. He's going to be performing for us this year again at Witches Fest. So,
Yes. And we want to thank you, Medium Kenneth Drake, for making the time to be with us tonight. There's
yes.
so much to go through and excited about the conversation. But first, as
Thank
always, we want to introduce you to everyone. So I'd like to go through your bio first so that everyone knows who you are and what is happening. So, Kenneth, Medium Kenneth Drake, for 30 years, celebrity psychic. Medium Kenneth Drake has connected audiences throughout the world to the other side. Called iconic by New York Today and legendary by the Los Angeles Tribune, the psychic, commonly referred to as Hollywood's psychic, has been credited with more than 100,000 readings in the psychic entertainment industry, serving as personal advisor to Hollywood's most elite. Known for his distinct voice and signature old Hollywood aesthetic, he was recruited by top psychic networks at the turn of the millennium, becoming highly influential in much of the branding of that period that propelled the psychic entertainment industry into mainstream popular culture, subsequently being ranked as top advisor on national networks in the United States and Canada for 18 consecutive years. Beginning
Nice.
his career after what he described as a terrifying encounter at a very early age, Kenneth Drake began to surrender to the gift of mediumship, becoming a staunch advocate for the philosophy and religion of spiritualism. A former member of the Spiritualists National Union of Great Britain, the governing body which oversees the prestigious Arthur Findlay College, the world's foremost leading college of psychic studies, Kenneth Drake continues to study and teach psychic phenomena throughout the National Spiritualist Association of Churches within the United States and is considered one of the most influential voices regarding the practice of physical materialization mediumship through seance. That is powerful. We have questions. The
Yeah.
information gleaned from his private sessions and seance have been published internationally in Sedona Journal of Emergence. He is the author of Branded by Spirits, A Life Between Worlds, a memoir of his early experiences, which, when released, became a bestseller in books relating to psychic phenomena and out of body experiences. Though now largely retired from public performances, Kenneth Drake maintains a private practice and on rare occasions makes appearances at paranormal and horror conventions as well as pop culture conventions connecting with a new generation of haunted seekers. And we
Yeah.
will be asking for a little bit more information later on about what's going on in your world, and we'll be letting people know how they can get in touch with your management. So Thank you, medium Kenneth Drake.
Thank
for
you so much.
coming to be with us
I wish
tonight.
I wish I was as interesting as that made me seem. I promise you.
Oh, come on. So much.
Thank you so much for this honor. I can't even tell you what an honor this is. Thank you. I'm such a fan of both of you, by the way. Congratulations on the success of this great show. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you. Thank
Absolutely,
you.
absolutely. So one of the questions that we begin with everyone, because it's something that we've all kind of gone through at one time or another. Maybe not you. Maybe you've always been the medium. I don't know. But over the years, many of us kind of refer to ourselves by many different names. Not what other people call us, but what we refer to ourselves. As we go through our life journey with spirituality or whatever it is that we do. So we would like to hear that arc of what you may have called yourself, or if not, maybe you were just always the medium. I don't know. But we'd love to hear that arc for you.
Thank you so much. Such a great question, and I can personally relate to that journey myself because growing up in the very rural South in the Southeast, we didn't call it mediumship. Where I'm from in those days, 25, 30 years ago, that's in the Bible Belt, that's the devil's work, or so I was told. And so quite frankly, didn't want these experiences and was told to do everything possible to run away from this. And so from a very early age, I was pursuing ministry from a very traditional religious background.
Right.
Going into seminary and was going to become
Oh, wow.
pastor of church. And so when I began to have these experiences, little did I know that it would open up this entire different world where I would be forced to make a choice in some way. So through that, began to become very involved in spiritualism, transcendental meditation, began to see that the spirits speak a universal language, that regardless of our beliefs, regardless of our backgrounds, the spirits are calling to us. And I began to realize that these messages serve a purpose.
Yeah.
And so all these years later, it looks nothing like what I would have imagined that it would have looked like when I was 16, 17 years old. But I'm so glad that the spirits have been as patient with me as they have all these years. What a privilege now to not only connect with beautiful people such as you, but to honor God. What a privilege.
Okay.
Thank you. So when you think about what all the things that transpired, and as we went through in your bio, you actually authored a book about your early experiences. So can you tell us about what really, what connected you to recognizing that this is a, I don't know if you want to use the language of gift or talent or however you want to call it, that allowed you to say, okay, this I have to pursue. I need to understand what this is about. What was it that brought you to that understanding of, I'm a medium and I need to pursue what this means?
Such a great question. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
For me, I have to be very honest, in the beginning, it felt much more like a curse than a blessing, quite frankly. And in my journey, especially in the very rural South where I'm originally from, where you just didn't do this, you didn't talk about these things, you would sweep these things underneath the nearest church rug, cover these things up. And so the idea of even the word psychic or the word medium, those were very taboo words where I was originally from. And so, in the church world, the religious background that I had, you could talk about angels, you could talk about visions, you could talk about prophecy. Those words were acceptable. But when you start saying that you're getting messages from the dearly departed, all of a sudden you've opened up Pandora's box to this other world. And so it felt very much like a very public excommunication for me in those days, because I felt all alone in the world and time. And so I began to realize 17 years old that although I didn't want it, there was no way to turn it off. We could turn the volume up or down, but you couldn't turn it off.
Yeah.
And so I began to realize that thankfully, if it's your calling, it's going to keep on calling. And so it kept on
Well
calling.
said.
Yeah.
And when it did, I began to surrender to that, and not very gracefully. I made some of the biggest messes. I did everything I could to turn this off, try to tell these voices to shut up, leave me alone. And the more I began to realize, though, that it's not going to stop, I
Right.
realized that it serves a purpose, and
Yeah.
hope to bring
Yeah.
some healing to some people. And through that, what I didn't realize at the time, it actually healed me.
Right.
When I
Right.
surrendered, it began to
Acceptance.
heal.
So,
Pretty much it's an acceptance of yourself for who you are, and
yeah,
you can't deny that,
Mhm.
Absolutely. That
absolutely.
makes sense. That
Yes.
makes sense. All right. This next question is, to me, interesting because every time we ask someone this, it is always a different answer, and it's interesting. So, from your point of view, what does it mean to be a medium?
Mm, mm. You know,
Not anyone else's, just yours.
Yeah.
That's such a great
Yeah.
question. You have the best questions. These are some of the best questions I've ever been asked in interviews. Thank you. I, I would say my definition now is so
Mhm.
different than what it was in the beginning of this, and I, I feel it will more than likely continue to evolve as time goes on.
Fair.
But it used to be this bridge between two worlds, and that was in the beginning what I would refer to this as. But as I
Mhm.
began to become more aware through channeling, through mediumship, of this 25 years ago, this very feminine goddess archetype that appeared to me. And in the South, where I was from, that was so revolutionary. The idea of a feminine,
Yeah.
divine feminine archetype.
Yeah. Yeah.
It, it, it completely not only changed my religion, it changed my philosophy, it changed my entire world, quite frankly.
Right. Right.
And so, as I began to recognize that so much of what I had thought I had arrived at was just the beginning, and so it feels as though I began then to go on
Mm,
an otherworldly journey with the
yeah.
goddess, and I began to see that as mediums, as psychics, as healers, as teachers, that the goddess has many faces that she
Mhm.
presents herself with. And I'm just one of those faces, one of many, many faces, and
Right.
many, many, many voices. And may I say, to honor you, that's one thing that I so love about what you do is you bring all of these voices together to share with the world and as a representation of the goddess. So thank you for what you do.
Oh,
Oh,
we
thank you as well.
appreciate you. We really
We get to meet
appreciate you.
many brilliant people like you. So
Yes,
it's awesome.
it's a gift for us. So tell us how you now, at this stage in your life, how is your practice, your mediumship, your connection to divinity? How is this all a part of your world, your day-to-day living?
That's such a great question. I even now have maintain a private practice here in Indianapolis where I do readings occasionally.
Mhm.
Still teach occasionally, not as much as I used to, but what I'm seeing though, there seems to be some awakening where more and more and more people are coming to this great awakening where there's more of a,
Yeah.
Mhm.
well, we couldn't talk about it, and I'm sure you know even more than I would. 25 years ago, 30 years ago, things that we could not talk about publicly 30 years ago, now people have an interest in. And so I feel like the older I'm getting now, I'm finding my second wind again
That's
to,
beautiful.
to find that passion again.
Yeah.
But
That's
what
beautiful.
I'm seeing though is even in this stage of my life, this pursuit of the word or the theme that has been so it's burned into my heart throughout the past at least 5 years is communion,
Mm.
communion, communion, communion with the spirits, moving from this place of moving from contact, from initial contact into relationship, personal experiences,
Hmm.
communion with the spirits in a more intimate way. And I'm seeing that the more we push that boundary of belief to say, is this possible? Is this magical life really possible? And you begin to open this doorway to another world. And so things that I thought I would never see. I'm seeing. And just when I think I've seen it all, Spirit continues to keep me in awestruck wonder, really.
Right.
That
And
is
I
fabulous.
feel now I wake up every day in this state of awestruck wonder of not only
Right.
how incredible the Spirit is, but I think that we get to have this privilege of being a part of that. Uh,
Right.
Yes.
that's what keeps me going, and it never gets
Yeah,
old. I still get it as excited now as I did when I was 17 years old.
that is fabulous.
That's
Absolutely.
um this next question kind of, in a way, you may have answered part of it. But what do you think has become most important to you right now, most prevalent?
Mm, mm. Oh wow, such a great question. I feel the older I get, this as I become older, the sense of
Mhm,
community really.
mhm,
And I share that because even in conventions now, or whenever I do have the honor of speaking or lecturing at different events, I see this younger generation of seekers, whether they're just fans of horror, whether they're fans of spooky things, or they're fans
mhm,
of witchy things, or they're just fans of the paranormal. And I see my younger self when I get to
mm,
connect with people. And I think back and I thought, when I was going into this, having these experiences all those years ago, I felt all alone in the world, really. There wasn't no
right.
community, especially where I was
Right.
from. And so I think the older that I get, the more I see this importance of building community.
Mm,
And it doesn't have to look the way that I used to think it had to look. It doesn't have to look a certain way. As I said, God seems to have so many voices and so many faces. And what I'm seeing, even in this younger generation now, is people are in their own experiences, in their own ways, being called into this community with their own
mm,
magical experiences. And one thing that I try to share, although I don't always do it as eloquently or as gracefully as I would like, is that the spirits speak the universal language. And I always want to try to encourage as best I can the other generation, or even those who may seem so lost and so far away or without community. There's a place for you in this
mm,
magical world. There's a place for you in the craft. There's a place for you
Mhm,
regardless of your background, your beliefs, your systems that you've experienced. There's a place for you, just like you are. And there's
right.
something I feel, even in mediumship, that seems to be something that ignites this connection when we praise people. I find that more the older that I get. There's power in praising people,
Right.
praising people with their experiences. Sometimes something as simple as, I love the way you feel things. You feel things so deeply. I love that about you. Or just
right.
love the way that you are always there for other people. Something simple, but that praise unlocks this connection to mediumship, and the spirits are
Mm,
drawn to that like moths to the flame, I think. So
awesome.
I just find that community and connecting with people, it really matters more now than I think it
Ah,
used to.
You, you literally took us down the road of the
I know.
next question, which was, tell us about your relationship with community. So, so now that now
That's so
you
funny.
shared that this
As
is,
you were
and that
saying it, I'm thinking, oh, there she goes. She
there's
has.
our question. Yeah, and
I love
it's
it. I
so
love it.
important.
I think the goddess is with us tonight. I love that. Thank you.
Yes,
With two powerful goddesses tonight.
our
Thank you.
blessings to you. This is such an important question, and we keep it as a fixture, because community is vital. We went through this challenged period where we couldn't be around others, and now we're trying to, heal certain wounds. Community is important. Tell me a little, or tell us a bit about, like, what would you like to see with our bridges in community, or what would you like to see happening within community right now?
Such a great question. I feel there's so much, and I won't waste your valuable time with the
No,
astrology of this, but as we come,
bring
as
it.
you both aware, as we're coming into really the complete collapse now of the Piscean age, the age of
Mhm.
patriarchy, where
Yeah.
it's systems, these world systems that
Yep.
have not only silenced the goddess, but have silenced divine feminine voices,
Right.
powerful
Yeah.
Mhm,
voices. As this
mhm.
system is collapsing, and it's collapsing quickly,
Yep.
quite
It
frankly.
is.
You
It
just
is.
turn on the news or even scroll
Yep.
through social media. The old system, the old guard is changing.
Yeah.
Things aren't
Yes.
even 20 years ago. We weren't in
Yes.
this 10 years ago, 5 years ago. We weren't in this place. And so
Nope.
what I find is there's such an importance, and it's always been important. But I say this as a man, and of course as a man, I'm still learning, quite frankly. But didn't always know how important it is to support feminist voices,
Mhm, mhm,
voices that honor the goddess, those who have been disenfranchised, marginalized, the other,
mhm,
so to
mhm,
speak, culturally, ethnically, even sociologically. All of these differences that the old patriarchal guard thrived on, really,
Yes.
the division,
yeah.
the chaos, that guard is moving out of the way. The goddess is rising.
Mm.
I, I feel it right now. I feel the power
See?
to say that. The goddess is arising right now. She's not
She
going to be
has
silenced
to. She has
this
to.
time. Yes, yes, yes. And she's not going to be silenced this time. And so I think it's so important. I'm finding, and I'll be very honest, I don't always know how to do that,
Mm.
other
Mhm,
than be
mhm,
intuitively aware, to be emotionally aware of those needs. And those needs quickly change. The needs of
right.
today may not look like the needs of tomorrow. We're all
Right.
evolving, we're all changing. Needs of certain communities look different than the needs of other communities. And so I
Mhm,
think it's so important to have this psychic awareness, not
Mm.
only for readings, not only for connecting with spooky things and the dearly departed, but connecting most of all to people, to
Right.
the people around us. That's why I think this intuition, this uh, this intuition, this psychic phenomena, it's important. I think it's bringing us together.
yes.
I'm seeing more and more that the connection to the spirit, if anything, it's
Mhm,
reminding of our connection to each other.
Right.
yes.
It's where the
Yes.
power of the spirit is. It's not in the seance circle only. It's not in the ritual only. It's in our connection to people. And you don't
Mhm,
have a
mhm,
medium or a celebrity psychic to make people feel good.
I
To
Right.
do
know.
something to
Right.
make someone feel good. And what I'm seeing is that's where the real power of the spirit has always been. And that's where
Yeah.
the power has
Beautiful.
been.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well
Uh,
said.
Lots of wisdom in the answers that you're giving. So we
Mhm.
appreciate.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So, what would you like to see us as a magical groups of people, or magical people? What would you like to see us accomplish?
Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow. I don't know that I've ever been asked these amazing questions
Yeah.
before. You have the most thought-provoking. I love you both already. This is amazing. I've always been a fan of you both, but my goodness, this is powerful. Mm. I think if we strive, and when we may not arrive at this, and there may not be a certain way that this is supposed to look, I've of course I'm still learning myself, but moving forward, evolving while still honoring the past, while also simultaneously bringing our own individuality,
Mhm,
some way welcoming individuality more than perhaps we have in the past, or more than perhaps we've been known to do in the
Mm.
past. Because as we evolve, as we move into the dawning of what I call the age of goddesses, quite frankly, as
mhm,
we move into
Yeah.
Aquarius, all of these voices that are rising up right now, they're not going to look like the voices from 30, 40, 50 years ago. They're going to look
Right.
like voices. But there is going to be this common theme. And I think if we were to look back, even throughout history, throughout not only the just the magical times, but even now, uh, with even the spirituality that we're coming into, I think there's this common theme of individuality,
Mm.
expressing yourself, who you are, the way you are,
mhm.
unapologetic being who
Authentic
you are,
self.
Yes. Yes.
being who you are without apology, and bringing that into your practice, into
Mm.
your craft.
Mm.
I think the more that we
That's
promote
awesome.
that, I think the more that
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
that power and that uniqueness, and I think the spirits are drawn to that like a moth to the flame.
There we go.
Absolutely.
May
Absolutely.
it be so.
I know,
So,
right?
yes,
Be authentic you as much as possible, all the time,
just
all day.
all
That's
day, every day. Yes.
yes.
Um, absolutely. So tell us about the projects you have coming up or the things that you may be thinking about doing.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much. Coming up on, well, actually next weekend, I'm going to be in Louisville.
Oh,
I've
okay.
got a special presentation at the Louisville Horror Con. So I'm going to be connecting
Oh,
with a few of our fans of horror, a few of my spooky friends that love
fabulous.
horror and the paranormal. Going to be doing a presentation there that's exclusive for those that are going to Louisville Horror Con there for the weekend. On the 31st, I'm going to be in Cleveland, Ohio for Psychic Fair there. And but for those that they want to reach me, I can always just reach out to my management. I've recently just signed with a new management agency, Asia at methodical.com.
Let me
And
just go ahead and
to meet
start showing
so
that.
many of these friends out there. I love making these connections, meeting people, and would love to see you on the road somewhere.
That is fabulous. So you have a couple of events coming up regionally, and I'm excited for that. I just want to ask one other quick question because it was in your bio. Oh, there you are. I thought we lost you there for a second,
I
Star.
know, I know.
um, so the are you doing any work still with you mentioned that you do some offerings of teachings locally, like you still have some, I shouldn't say teachings, but you still have some clients that you see locally. Would
Mhm.
would people contact Asia as well for those
Yes, yes,
appointments? Okay,
yes.
perfect.
It would.
Perfect.
So that's a good way to reach out, even for classes or for mediumship development circles or for home groups or spiritualist teachings, or even for home seance groups. You can always reach out to me through Methodical Management and would be more than honored to be a part of that. As I said earlier, I feel like I'm finding my second wind after
That
all
is
these years.
awesome.
I feel like the goddess is bringing me out of retirement.
Thank you for that clarification.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Actually, before we came on the show, we ran out of time because I was going to say to him, because I know he was trying to come down for Witches Fest. So
Mhm.
um,
I apologize to
I
you.
don't know if,
Was
huh?
traveling. I apologize to you. I
It's
was
okay.
traveling and didn't get to do that at the time.
Actually, what I was trying to say to you was, it would be great if you could be a presenter, and then if so we can talk about that after. You
Oh,
know,
Talk offline about
I,
that.
I would be honored. It would be
that
the
would
most.
be so wonderful. But I don't know if did you get a chance to ask me about any events that he's doing this year?
Nope, that's no.
Okay, still doing. So what events, other than us trying to pull you into us, what
Yes.
Hey, I was. May I say, I was not expecting that. That is one of the greatest
what
honors of
events
my
are
life.
you doing the rest of this year? What events do you think you have coming up?
Oh my goodness! Well, I have after Louisville coming up
Mhm.
next weekend. I'll have let's see. I'll be in Ohio some towards the end of the month. And so mostly Midwestern events here in
Midwestern.
the Midwest.
Okay.
Yes, and hoping to be back on the West Coast in 2027 for a few events with a new
Oh,
book coming out, but we'll be doing that next year. But mostly Midwestern events now. But yeah, I do. The past 2 years, I've done a lot in Salem, but would love to cross paths with you, powerful goddesses,
well,
and
you know,
honor you any way that I can.
Okay, all right,
we
sounds
are
good.
always you are always welcome.
Discuss that later on.
Yes, indeed. And I do want to just call out in the chat. We have Lavetta. Lavetta is always with us. Lavetta, thank you so
Yeah,
much for being with us.
such a wonderful
Thank
person.
you for your wonderful show and your marvelous guests. So I just want to share that with you. Awesome. It has been such a pleasure having you with us tonight. Thank you so much for making the time again to spend with us. We are absolutely excited about your upcoming work, and please do let us know when your next book is being released because we'd like to hear about that too.
Thank you so much for this honor. It's been such an honor. Thank you to everyone. Thank you
Thank
for
Such a
you.
pleasure. Thank you.
so much. Thank you.
And we want to wish you a very fabulous rest of your evening. If you
Yes.
need to go off and do your thing, that would be fabulous. In the meantime, we want to just share some of the other shows here at Magickal Witchy World TV.
All right, so we are back, and this month, the astrology forecast for May 2026 brings many opportunities to pause so we can stop and smell the roses. With so much fiery energy brewing all through the month of April, May gives us the chance to slow down and be more intentional about how we wish to move forward with our lives. May begins and ends with a full moon, the second of which is a rare blue moon. Having two full moons in a calendar month indicates a theme of release, letting go, and culmination. And it seems that a chapter is going to come to an end for us in May. And we are likely to find ourselves wrapping up loose ends and making space for the new to arrive. Along with this rare blue moon, May also brings a series of powerful stargate portals, including the Algol portal, the Pleiades portal, and the Silver Gate portal. All of these star portals hold high frequency energy that will guide us to connect with our inner divinity and spirit guides. The Silver Gate portal, in particular, is a powerful power time to remember parts of your soul contract and to reframe the lessons of your journey so far. Overall, May offers some grounding influences that will feel supportive to nurturing our minds, bodies, and souls. We are encouraged this month to be intentional with what we are giving our energy to and to give our attention not towards what we don't want, but towards what we actually want more of. Okay.
Important, absolutely. So, here are the key astrological points for May 2026 to keep an eye on. The month begins on the first of the full moon in Scorpio. So, we went through that. It was a very powerful time to review finances. It was time to take stock of your progress towards goals set earlier in the year and to make adjustments if needed. Even if you're behind schedule, there's still time to regroup and to refine your strategy. The Scorpio full moon thins the veil, and that allowed us to access downloads and insights from higher realms of our higher self. Our intuition was heightened under that moon, helping us uncover hidden details and make smarter decisions. And we may have found ourselves feeling extra sensitive, especially in the lead up to that full moon. That Scorpio full moon called for us to release all that blocks our power. Where have we given away our power, for example? The time has come to reclaim our personal power by releasing all that is limiting us. This year's Scorpio full moon also was able to shine a spotlight on our committed relationships in love and in business. And we may find shifting a power dynamic, we may have found a shifting power dynamic, or that something needed to transform in order for the relationship to keep growing. By May 2nd, we had that Mercury and Taurus situation. So on the 2nd, practical thinking became easier when Mercury entered Taurus. This steady influence lasts until the 17th, so that will help you find common sense solutions to issues. Communication is grounded. Travel is slow but productive, and determination is strong. Just watch for stubborn streaks, okay? Mercury moves into Taurus, softening some of that fiery energy that has been taking place since the start of April. Mercury in Taurus is slow and deliberate, but it helps to slow our thought processes and calms our minds. We may move into a more grounded headspace, allowing us to assess with greater clarity what we wish to nurture and nourish in our lives. On the 4th, Mars in Aries was square Jupiter in Cancer. So that Mars in Aries square Jupiter in Cancer gave us energy and motivation to get things done. There's a chance we could have felt overwhelmed by all the things we have to do, but once the tension started to ease up, we could start to feel a sense of satisfaction and relief. Mars can stir heated emotions and feelings of irritability, and Jupiter can magnify these, so be mindful of any bubbling emotions and try to give yourself a healthy outlet. This alignment can also support making progress on home improvement projects.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
And then May 6th, Pluto retrograded in Aquarius and giving us the first retrograde planet we have had in a while and remains so until October 15th. Pluto moves kind of slowly, so its effects are subtle. And over the next few months, you may reflect on issues of power, control, and long-term transformation. On a collective level, this could mark a period of regrouping as the US heads toward midterm elections. Pluto is known as the Lord of the Underworld and is connected to transformation, the cycles of death and rebirth, and both inner and outer power. Pluto
Mhm.
also spends almost half of the year in retrograde, so this is a normal part of its cycle. When in retrograde, we are invited to look over past transformations and to reflect on the deaths and rebirths we have moved through. And sometimes Pluto retrograde can bring power dynamics to our attention to help us address where we may be giving our power away or where we need to stand up more. Okay? As Pluto will be retrograde in the sign of Aquarius, we may find ourselves thinking about community or pondering how do we fit in. Okay, Aquarius can be a very healing energy, so our attention may turn to practices that enrich our well-being. On the world stage, we may see Pluto retrograde shining a spotlight on the use of technology and AI more and more.
Mhm.
Then on May 14th, Mercury aligns with the sun, bringing some insights our way. Information may be revealed, or we may find ourselves being able to see things clearly after a period of confusion. This is a power day for clarity and for productive thinking. Okay.
Excellent. So by May 15th, so May 15th through the 17th, we'll have the Algol Gateway. And the Algol Gateway is activated by the sun aligning with the fixed star Algol. Algol is one of the most notorious stars in astrology and has been nicknamed the blinking star of the demon. However, we feel its reputation is largely misguided. Okay.
Yeah.
Algol represents the power we obtain after moving through the cycle of death and rebirth. So, Algol is closely linked with the myth of Medusa. Medusa began as an oracle goddess, but was turned into a gorgon with the head of snakes, with a head of snakes. So, through this metamorphosis, however, she only became stronger. This is the essence of Algol. It teaches us to find our strength and power no matter the transformations that have found us. On May 16th, we have the Taurus new moon. So on the 16th, the new moon in Taurus favors fresh beginnings. It's ideal for buying new clothes, beautifying the home, starting a garden, and starting even a new business. It's also lovely for weddings or engagements. Whatever begins now has staying power. The Taurus new moon brings a new lunar cycle that feels a lot calmer and restorative than the one before it. We are supported to slow down, be deliberate in our actions, and to think about long term gains. Money matters or a relationship may be on our mind under this new moon, and it seems as if there are two paths we can go down. Getting mentally clear and talking things through with a trusted friend is going to be very helpful. All
Now,
right.
and then May 17th, Mercury in Gemini conjunct Uranus. I almost said Uranus.
Hey.
Okay. On the 17th, Mercury moves into its happy place, Gemini, and now
Mhm.
it's in rulership, which means it functions there best. Okay, thinking is quick, and so is wit. It's a marvelous few weeks for conversations, correspondences, classes, short trips, and gossip. It remains here until June 1st, and then Mercury loves to be in that Gemini. It's a short stint for it, all the way to June 1st. Mercury in Gemini is quick thinking, sharp, and excellent at storytelling. We want you to use this energy to problem solve and to bring support to any communication projects that you may be
Mm.
working on. As Mercury moves into Gemini, it aligns with Uranus, creating some chaotic yet highly creative energy. Our brains may be running in overdrive as we inspire new ways of thinking and out of the box ideas. We may even decide to push some boundaries. And then May 18th, Mars is in Taurus. That slow roll when Mars saunters into Taurus, Mars is in detriment in the sign of the bull. So it's out of sorts a bit after a wild ride through its favorite sign, Aries. Progress is slower than refrigerated honey, but persistence is strong, which helps reach the finish line. The desire for luxury and comfort could sometimes lean toward laziness. Guard against that, and you'll make the mark every time. Mars leaves Taurus on June 28th, and Mars moves into Aries, ending a period of intensity and high energy. Mars in Taurus favors slowing down and making time to stop and smell the roses, okay? And this may be a welcome reset moment after the high intensity, fiery energies of all the weeks past in Aries. May 18th also brings Venus, which enters Cancer. And Venus entering that soft, sensitive, and nurturing sign of Cancer may help you feel extra sensitive or more aware of our emotions. So don't be afraid to say no and set boundaries if needed, especially if you are naturally empathetic, okay? Or empathic.
Excellent. Empathic. Yeah. So now we have this May 19th through the 21st. We have the I pronounce this Alicon.
Polycone gateway.
Yeah, gateway and the Pleiades gateway. So
Yeah.
The Alicon gateway is activated by the sun aligning with the star Alicon, one of the major stars of the Pleiades. Alicon could be defined as the feminine version of Sirius. If Sirius is our spiritual sun, then Alicon can be our shadow sun, the sun that shines a light on all that deeper, darker stuff we have to wade through in order to reach new levels of spiritual awareness. These shadows are our fears and repressed emotions. And these shadows are also the feelings of shame we may possess around ourselves and our lives. Exposing and bringing these into the light is always possible, but under the influence of the Pleiades, we may feel divinely supported and guided to do this work. The Pleiades are also strongly connected to the spirit world and may help us connect with loved ones who've passed. By May 20th, Gemini season begins, and the sun moves out of steady, grounded Taurus into the social and quick-witted sign of the twins. Gemini is an air sign, which means energy will move from our lower chakras to our higher chakras, fueling our creativity, self-expression, and our desire to share. Gemini season is a great time to focus on communication and working with our hands. It is also a power time when it comes to recognizing both aspects of our being. We are a soul, but we are also a physical body. This is the nature of the Gemini twins. One twin is mortal and the other is immortal, representing our temporary body and our forever soul. This Gemini season, we will be receiving strong beams from the planet Uranus, which will be guiding all of us to create a more authentic voice.
Okay. And May 26th, Mars is in Taurus. Mars in Taurus squares Pluto in Aquarius. Mars square Pluto can be a challenging energy that can stir attention and bring about frustration. Mars and Pluto coming together can also be a trigger for power struggles and situations where we feel helpless. We may find ourselves facing some struggle or a difficult situation. The bright side is that this combination of energy usually allows us to reach a breaking point so that we can finally move forward towards a solution. The tension will be high, but we are supported in taking actions for the better. And then May 28th, Venus in Cancer square Saturn in Aries, which is another, when Venus squares Saturn is another harsh energy. But once again, we are inspired to take action and do something about it. This time we are guided to make peace with difficult relationships, dynamics, or financial issues. We are being called to step up and take responsibility for what we value the most. Okay?
Excellent. And then by May 29th through the 31st, we'll have the Aldebaran Gateway, the Silver Gate portal. When the sun aligns with the royal star Aldebaran, I am really bad with the pronunciation. Aldebaran.
Yeah, that's good.
I bit my tongue earlier, and I'm like hurting myself. So anyway, when the sun aligns with the royal star Aldebaran, it activates a portal of high frequency energy. Some astrologers refer to this as the Silver Gate portal. And this portal beams down energy that can sharpen our minds, deepen our intuition, and increase our wisdom. Aldebaran is also said to be the resting place for souls right before they reincarnate back on Earth. In this resting place, the soul has a chance to reflect on why it is coming to Earth and the lessons it will obtain. So we can channel this space by connecting with our higher self and soul contract, and remembering that every experience is a lesson. By May 31st, we have that Sagittarius blue moon, our second full moon. So once in a blue moon is happening today, that 31st of May, with the Sagittarius full moon. A blue moon occurs when we have 2 full moons in one calendar month. It's a rare event happening roughly every 18 months or so. The Sagittarius blue moon creates a strong theme of release throughout the month, and it could be that we're wrapping up a chapter of our lives that we've been working hard to complete. The Sagittarius full moon on the 31st also guides us to seek adventure. We may find ourselves making a daring decision, seeking new experiences, or even bringing a project to completion. Lots happening.
Yeah.
Lots happening. But of course, that means that we have to do what? Pull a card.
Yes. All right, Rhonda. So, what do you think? What do we pull the card for tonight?
What do we pull the card for tonight?
Yeah,
I'm just, you know what? I think this is a great time to do the I need to have a moment of what's my joy looking like? You know, we've had a lot going on because that Aries energy that with
Yeah.
the we were speaking about the early May energy. What's my joy looking like? Where do I find my joy right now? So let's just pull a card on that.
Okay, what have you got, girl?
I'm pulling it right now. And what did I get? Oh, 10 of Wands. What is my
Okay.
joy looking like? Jeez. I think right now, I'll be honest with you, y'all. Yeah, I'm back in school. I'm taking classes. So this is how I feel right now. End of semester. I feel like I'm carrying all the things. That it's a heavy load. It's a heavy lift. But where I'm finding my joy is knowing it's almost done. That what I'm really seeing. I'm so excited. What I'm sensing with this, though, truly, where I find my joy is knowing that I've put energy and effort into something and I am seeing results. That is where I find my joy. I'm going to celebrate small, medium, and large successes. And that is where I'm finding my joy right now.
Awesome. That is
Yes.
so awesome. And I got the star.
Oh, star got
I
the
don't know if you can
star.
see. It's a beautiful, beautiful card
It is.
in this deck. And I always feel when I see this card, just again, you know, it's interesting because Kenneth mentioned it earlier, being your authentic self. The star always makes me feel like that's what everybody is doing when they get this card. Like, you know, just simply being your authentic self, seeing things with half full rather than half empty, the glass half empty kind of a thing, half full instead, seeing being optimistic and just being finding joy in just being,
Mm,
um, and and pulling for you to be your authentic self in every sense of the word, um, and not really giving a shit what anyone thinks. If they want to say whatever, yeah, it does not hurt my life. And if you want to say that or whatever, whatever, push
yeah,
tish,
yeah,
kind of a thing, and kind of let things bounce off of you and say bye. It's
yes,
on you, not me.
yes.
I'm cool with
I
that
am.
thing.
I am relaxed under this starry
Yes,
night.
I'm all
That's right.
good.
I love
Yes.
that. I love that. That's it.
So that's
Find that
that's
joy.
my joy, and actually, that's where I am literally right now in life. I think, as again with Kenneth, again saying it, as he kept saying, as he got older, he's doing certain things, and I think he's
Hmm.
right. As we get
Yeah.
older, we kind of decide that's what we're going to be anyways,
Yes.
our authentic selves, and who gives a damn?
That's it. That's
It's
it.
not.
It's
It
just
has
too
nothing
much
to do with our life,
effort.
what anyone thinks or whatever it is.
Right.
Um,
It's too much
and
work. It's too
it's
much
too much
work trying to do
stress
something. Yeah,
and
too much
everything to
stress.
do that to yourself. You know what I mean? So,
That's it. That's it.
anyways,
Sleep
so
quiet,
oh,
flying.
yeah, yeah, right. So next week on May 15th, we are going to be. Is it May 15th? Right? Is next week? It feels
Is
like it's
next
happening
week.
so fast.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll be
Word.
mid-month.
Okay. So next week we have a panel on respecting traditions and close practices. And so we're going to be doing that. And we have a few guests that's going to be on with that. So I think that's kind of cool. And Star and I, Rhonda and I would like to say,
Yes.
to say thank you to all of you, whether in the chat now or in the show and on the playback. Either
Yeah.
way, we love having you here and we appreciate you all so much.
Yes.
And we want to say thank you to our guest tonight, medium Kenneth Drake, for being with us here tonight and sharing his wisdom. So appreciated. Yes.
Yeah.
So appreciated.
So
Um,
okay.
so, Rhonda,
Please like, subscribe, and share. We truly, truly appreciate every one of you who joins us live or on the playback. We appreciate you. And if you are so motivated and moved and could give us some feedback, or whether it's on YouTube or Facebook, let us know who you'd like to see, or if you have recommendations, please do share with us.
absolutely. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, listen, have a great week, everyone. We
Yes.
see you next Friday.